So here's a new device that I've just bought. This is a Treedix USB Cable Tester. So let's look what's in the box. Okay. I'm going to try and open this very carefully so that if it doesn't work I can always return it. So what we have here is we have the manual, and this is really important because it explains what all the indicators are, which we'll see later. It's all in English, Italian, and also Japanese at the end there. Then we have this is a stand, or sorry, really a case that protects the device. And here are some standoffs that we use to put it inside. And here finally is the tester itself. And basically it's just a circuit board with no protection at all, which is why you get the case. Let's have a look. It looks like this. So it has a 3 volt battery there. Apparently when you put the battery in it's easy to break things, I've got to be careful there. And that's it. So now I've got the brown paper off the acrylic board, we can attach everything. So I'm going to put these longer screws at the bottom, and I think I can do these one at a time, like this. 1, 2, and one here. And then the last one here. Okay, so we have now the board with the standoffs, and then I can put this clear board over the top so that we can see everything, but it gets protected a little bit. And then we just screw in these at the top here. I think I'm going to have to screw them in a little bit so they don't move. 1, 2. When tightening your screws, it's always good to first do it just a little bit, and once everything's in, then you screw them all tightly. Otherwise, you can sometimes have problems with the screws not fitting in properly. Okay, so let's tighten them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Never over tighten screws, of course. To the bottom. Well, there's no screw at the bottom. It's just you just turn that in. Okay, so we're done. Okay, the next thing to do is very carefully remove this little tab to let the battery work. Very slowly. Okay, and I need to move this switch to the battery side, like that, and now it should work. So the way this works is that we plug in the cable through onto both sides, and then the lights show up to show you what's working or what isn't, and you can tell if it's just able to charge or if it has ability to send data through the cable and so on. So let's try this old micro USB cable and see how it performs. So first I'm going to put the cable in there. So this is a type 2 USB cable. So now I need a micro USB side on the right hand side, and where is it? You'll see it's right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ports I can use. So let's plug it in and see what it shows. Okay, so this shows we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights showing. And what does that mean? Well, we have ground, then we have D plus, D minus, V bus, and then a shield. So this is actually meaning this cable's pretty good. It can charge, but because it's got D plus and D minus, it means it can also send data. Great. Okay, so here's a non-brand USB Type-C cable on both sides. Let's see what that does. So because it's a Type-C cable, I'm going to plug one side in here like this, and we now need to find the Type-C on the other side, which is in the middle here, I think. Yep, let's see what happens. So now you can see all kinds of lights showing up. We've got the ground, we've got V-bus, we've got actually 2 V-bus lights showing. Okay, then we have the shield, but then you'll also see we've got on the other side D minus, D plus, we've got CC1, and we've also yeah, so that means basically this is doing well. It can charge, it can also send data. Because it's CC1, it means it can send a lot of data, I think. I think it means it's got high-speed data transmission. Now here's another cable which I thought might be interesting. This came with basically an electric toothbrush. So if I plug this in to left here, this is a Type-C cable, but if I plug it in, you'll see that even though both sides are lighting up, we actually only have here ground, V-bus, V-bus, and shield on both sides, which basically means that this is only useful for charging. So maybe I'm going to throw this away, because I don't want a cable that only charges, and I've got so many other Type-C cables as well. This is a very expensive cable that I use for monitor connections as well. So if I could plug this in, and what you'll see here is that basically everything shows up except the D minus and D plus on the left, and that basically means that it's got comprehensive functionality, charging, data transmission, audio, video transmission, basically everything. So this would be the ideal cable for any purpose. Okay, so the last cable I'm going to test here is the an official Apple Type-C cable. So let's plug that side in there. Let's plug in there, and maybe you can tell that it's actually showing almost exactly the same. In fact, exactly the same as what we just saw before. Oh no, there's also CC2 showing here on the left, and that does mean that it has high-speed data transmission capabilities. So that's great. And one thing I would recommend is that instead of just leaving it like this and using up the battery, maybe you can use your cell phone to take a photograph of the display, and then you can look up what the lights mean and make sure that everything's working fine. So that's the Treedix USB Cable Tester, and it's working well for me.